the Honorable, the examiners, good morning. First of all, let me introduce my name is Nurmiati from English Education Programs. In this lovely time, I would like to thanks for the opportunity that has been given to me to present my proposal with the little using bingo game technique to improve students' vocabulary mastery at students of Man Wan Bau Bau. Chapter 1 is the first is background of study. Mastering English vocabulary, therefore, is much needed to learn more about English. According Hornby, 1995, state that mastery is complete knowledge or great skill, while a study in Oxford Dictionary 1995 defined mastery as the complete control of knowledge. It means that to be able to control our foreign language skill for communicating without having proportional English vocabulary, we will great deal of difficult in using English both written and orally. Based on the pre-observation, the writer found some problems. They are the students could not pronounce the word correctly. The students tend to pronounce the letters of the words. The students found difficult in spelling the words, and the students found difficult in memorizing the meaning of the words. In addition, motivation is low. And then the problem faced by students are caused by some factors. They may come from the students, the teachers, media, or technique used in teaching learning process. The teacher plays less attention in teaching vocabulary. The teacher used the conventional method in teaching the material, and then there was no variation or other technique media uses by her. There was also no handbook or LKS. Based on the background of the study, the problems of statement are: the first one, is there any significant effect of using bingo game technique to improve students' vocabulary mastery at students of Man Wan Bau Bau? And the second one is, what are the advantage and disadvantage of using bingo game teaching vocabulary mastery at students of Man Wan Bau Bau? And then is objective of the research. The first is for students. It will help students to learn vocabulary easily and effectively. And the second one is for teacher. The teaching will be effective and fun. And the last one is for the other research. I hope this study will help the next research of vocabulary learning as their inspiration and reference to conduct the studies. And then significance of the research, the last one in chapter 1. They are to identify whether there is significant effect in the use of bingo game technique to improve students' vocabulary mastery at students of Man Wan Bau Bau, and then to show the advantage and the disadvantage of using bingo game technique in teaching vocabulary at students of Man Wan Bau Bau. And then chapter 2, review of related literature. Vocabulary. Vocabulary is an alphabetical list of the words used in a language can be defined into two main groups. They are function and context words. Vocabulary is one of the important things in learning a language. Science, it is one of the primary things in building a sentence in a language. And then definition of learning strategy. Learning strategy like a weapon in teaching and learning process. It's one of the important things that teachers have to consider in achieving the goal in the process of teaching and learning a language. The better strategy used by the teacher, the more effective and teaching and learning process will be better. And then game as a means in teaching English. Game is one of the successful media to be used in teaching English. The advantages in using games are it can make a fun learning, able to involve learning in healthy competition that can help them learn more and create a bond between the teacher and their studies. Bingo games. Bingo is one of the games that can be used in teaching and learning English. Bingo is not only a good game to be used as a medium in teaching vocabulary, but also an interesting method to make a fun classroom atmosphere. And the last is characteristic of junior high school studies. The studies of junior high school is one on the process of finding their self-identity. They have labil emotion and like interesting atmosphere as what they like when they are still children. Moreover, they also have great enthusiasm whenever they are engaged in classroom activity. Therefore, it is important for teachers that they should find an interesting method to attract the studies and engage them to be involved in a teaching and learning process. And then, conceptual framework. Like in my PowerPoint, you can see the first is problem in learning English vocabulary. After that is memorizing English vocabulary, and then we find the method. We try two method. Is the first is conventional way, and then conventional teaching, and the second is interesting way. The answer is bingo game, and then we compare them. Chapter 3 Methodology of the research. Design of the research. Experimental studies. Variable of the research. The independent variable is the bingo game as a strategy in mastering English vocabulary. The dependent variable is students' achievement of mastering English vocabulary after being English by using bingo game technique. Time and place. The time is next. Place is man one bau-bau. Population and sample. The population is which I used to conduct my research was the studies of man one bau-bau. Sample is non-random sampling technique. The sample of the study is 10 science fifth as the experimental group, and then the 10 science sixth as the control group. Instrument and technique of data collection. Instrument is test. Technique of data collecting is pre-test, treatment, and then post-test. And then technique of data analysis. The first is scoring the result of the test, and the second is the mean was counted from the test result of the group. Okay, I think that's all for me. The last I say is wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and then thanks for your attention.